You guys sick of tomatoes yet? I'm not. The reason I don't get sick of them is A, I grow a bunch of different varieties, and I grow all heirloom varieties, and I play around and do a lot of different things with them. All right? I know a guy who grows the same big boy hybrid tomatoes every year, dozens of plants, must get hundreds of tomatoes, and every day he has his tomato sandwich. Which, I mean, I love it. I love that somebody loves something that much, but I would get tired of it, quite honestly. So I grow a lot of different varieties. Like I said, heirloom. I save the seeds from them every year, and I like to play around and do a lot of different things. Like I told you the other day, I'll make the pizza sauce from the San Marzanos. We did the tomato sandwich, beeps. So come on over to the board. Let me show you what I'm doing tonight. Let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
Right, tonight I want to make a tomato soup from these big, beautiful, ripe Goldies. And the reason I'm doing this is, first of all, they're big. You can make a nice big pot of soup just from these 2 tomatoes, and they're not really, you know, they got that funky shape and these pieces that you want to get out, so they're not really like sandwich slicing tomatoes. So we just cut them into chunks and we'll roast them up. A little roasted tomato soup. All right, so here we go. I rinsed them off real well, and in this little roasting pan I've got an onion and a couple of carrots cut up. We'll just roast everything together. So what I want to do now, they're washed. I just want the good parts. Look at that. Let me just, quality control. Oh. The soup's going to be incredible. These are so sweet. The yellow of the tomato, generally, the lower in acid it is. So you just get those sugars, put our big chunks, and taking out all that crazy outside. All right, there's one. Taking off all those funky bits. I just want the good, clean flesh of the tomato. The skin will roast right off. It'll come off after they're roasted. Okay, here we go. Goldie, carrots, onions, and I've got one volunteer garlic. I didn't get my garlic in last fall. This guy came up all by its little lonesome. So let's just take the roots off. I'm going to leave this right in its own skin, the whole little head. It's tiny. And now let's give this a drizzle, a little extra virgin. Just a few grains of salt. We're going to salt the soup. That'll help break down the carrots, the onions and stuff. And I got the oven at 375. I'll pop it in. And you can't have tomato soup without croutons or a grilled cheese sandwich. So I've got this bread dough rising. I'm going to get a couple of loaves in the oven. One can go in the freezer. While it's tomato season, I'm doing a big 2-loaf batch because, you know, BLTs, sandwiches with mayo, the whole 9, croutons. So I'll do the bread. That's not part of the show. We'll see it all at the end. We got some roasting to do. All right, time is up. Let's see what we got in the oven here. Got our roasted veggies. This kitchen smells unbelievable because in the oven we've had the roasted veggies and these 2 loaves of bread. There's one. because one of these will go in the freezer. And I've got so many tomatoes coming on those vines. You want slices for BLTs, tomato sandwiches. We're going to make croutons. Let's take our garlic out. Oh, it's nice and soft. That's what we want. And we're going to take these veggies and spill them right into our pot here. Oh, the aroma. And then I'm going to go in with some fresh thyme, a little bit of basil. Okay. I won't season it yet. Let's cook it first. Now on the back burner here, I think I told you in a prior episode, I had some chicken backs in the freezer to make some stock. So that's exactly what I did. And it is going to cook longer. But for right now, we can nick a little out. It's been on for a couple of hours, so it's good and stocky. So let's put about 2 cups in. And before we turn the heat on, let's get the trusty old stick blender out. Let's puree this soup. Okay, now let's take our roasted garlic. Is this still too hot to handle? Let's take our cloves, one by one, and just squeeze them. Ooh, it's hot. I think I need a little spoon. Too hot to handle. This is the little spoon that came with the drink smoker. Perfect, perfect size, perfect shape. We don't have to use the whole thing. Some of this will be nice for the croutons. Let's get a few cloves in there. They're nice and soft and mushy. And boy, when you roast garlic, it just sweetens up tremendously. All right, I think that's good enough. Let's give it a stir. Oh, we got a carrot there, so we got some more blending to do. There we go. The carrots are being a little tougher than everything else. Now they're blending up. All right, let's give this a taste. Oh man. Now a little salt, some black pepper. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, maybe I want to, the stick did all right, but there's still some little flecks of carrot and whatnot. I'm thinking maybe I want to just pulverize it in the blender because I love a super silky tomato soup. I think I'm going to do that, but I'll do it off camera and then I'll put it back in this pot. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
So what I did is I whizzed it up in the blender because I like a real silky tomato soup. And I'm going to go in with just like a half a tablespoon of butter, not much. And some people would add cream, half and half. I'm going to use just a dollop of this unsweetened almond milk. Keep the dairy factor down. We got some butter in there. You don't really even need anything, but I think it'll blend down, soften down. And I did taste it, so I'm going to go again with another bit of black pepper and just the most modest pinch of salt. Tomatoes love salt, but you do not want to overdo it. I've got a flame back under it because I want to melt the butter. Oh, perfection. Now you guys have heard me lament time and time again about the lighting in my kitchen. My little 1935 Craftsman home, I still have the double ring circular fluorescence above my head in the kitchen. So I mention that to say there is no way the camera is picking up the gorgeous golden orange color of that Goldie tomato soup. It's absolutely perfect. I'm just going to put the flame down way low to keep it warm, because over here on the board we've got our 2 loaves. They made it to temperature. They hit 190. I egg washed them so they're nice and shiny brown on top. I tried just for fun. I scored this one the long way and this one diagonally. But I can't cut them yet. I always tell you with bread, there's action going on inside there. There's steam. It's like letting a steak rest. So you do not cut your bread. You have to let it sit. And then what I'll do is I'll cut some cubes out of one of them, make some nice little garlicky croutons with the rest of that roasted garlic, and then we'll check out this soup. Our loaves have cooled down. Still a little warm to the touch, but I think most of the activity inside has been allowed to take place. So now this is not the classic sandwich bread that I was touting in the BLT episode. I actually got home from work. I wanted to do this and I wanted the croutons. So I Googled fastest loaf of bread. This was like an hour from beginning to end. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna freeze the big one. You know, maybe I'll have some guests over the weekend for BLTs or whatever. So let's cut this little guy. Can still make grilled cheeses with it. Let's see what we got in this quick loaf of bread. Nice crumb, kind of a tight crumb. Nice aroma. Quality control. Nothing on it. No butter, no olive oil. It's a nice loaf of bread. So what I'm going to do is cut a few croutons. So I'll make them about 3/4 of an inch. Right? I'll just do a few. I'm leaving the crust on. We'll leave those that size. And then we'll just do this in half. Nice big fluffy croutons, okay? All right, now there's 2 ways you could do these. You could toast these in the oven or do them in a pan. I think I'm gonna do them in a pan, a little olive oil, because I can throw in the rest of this soft roasted garlic. So let's bring it to the stove. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
I got the small cast iron on with a light coating of extra virgin olive oil in the bottom. And let's just add our bread cubes. Crust and all. And let's take that remaining soft roasted garlic, and one by one, whichever, now it's cooled off, so I don't need that spoon. I can just squeeze it right out. Love this stuff. Roasted garlic. All right, I think we got it all right there. Look how quick they brown up. It's the cast iron. And that side soaked up most of the oil, but that's okay because we want these crunchy. So I'm not going to add any more oil. Look great already. But what I am going to do as I flip them around is start to mash that garlic up a little because it's sitting in one big chunk there. So let's get that moving around among all the bread. And now it's starting to toast. So let me add a little pinch of salt. And I got this nice, was at Mother Earth's the other day, this nice pink salt, pink Himalayan salt. A few grains of that. Let's go in with some black pepper. And I've got not much left, but I do have a little of my Italian seasoning blend left. They were holiday gifts. It's getting towards the end of its shelf life, but it's still kicking off a little aroma. Now, like I said, the other way to do this is in the oven. But I baked that bread, we roasted the veggies, I'm done with having the oven on. This is just as good. QC. Wow. See the roasted garlic? And what's nice about this, doing croutons like this, with the freshly baked bread, I mean, usually, technically, this is, you know, those old French techniques. This is a way to use up old bread. It is nice with day old bread. I like a crunchy crouton. But with the fresh bread like this, we're toasting the outside, but the inside is still creamy, airy. It's beautiful. So I think these are good. And as I always say, we can turn off the flame, and the cast iron will keep them warm while we head over to the board and plate up. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
My full disclosure, on a Tuesday night, it's getting a little late. I actually ate, the reason I made this soup was, number one, I wanted to use up the Goldies, but also now I have lunch for tomorrow. And tomorrow night is cartoon deadline night. So I can get home, have a little bowl of this soup, maybe a grilled cheese, right? A little cheddar, maybe a little mozzarella, and get right to work on the cartoon. Now let's finish this up. Remember the Borghese? Slice those. Just have one of them, and I'll just do three slices. Pop the rest in my mouth. Now, we'll garnish. Basil's going nuts. I sense a pesto show in the very, very near future. And last but not least, a few of our little roasted garlic croutons. Let's just go with 3 of those. Because again, it's getting late for me. This isn't really supper. All right, let's give this a go. Goldie, golden roasted tomato soup. With carrot, roasted with carrot, onion, garlic. This is that beautiful, I'm almost done, that Lebanese olive oil, extra virgin, brought to me as a gift. Let's give it a go. First, just the soup. Oh, Goldie. Let's get a tomato and the crouton together. Oh, damn. It's almost a meme or a cliche, like a stereotype, right? A little old Italian man likes to grow his tomatoes. I'll take it. This is absolutely amazing. Goldie. The croutons make it. It was worth coming home and banging out those 2 loaves of bread just for this. So I've got lunch tomorrow, bowl of soup, a couple of croutons. Come home for dinner, bowl of soup, maybe a little grilled cheese on the side, dunk it in, get the cartoon out for the paper. I can't describe the flavor of this tomato. It's so sweet, so tomatoey, and the color, right? We'll see you for the next episode. Probably tomatoes.
Come on, let's do it.
My little 1935 Craftsman home. It's got the circular